All right, so get this. Today, we're diving into a universe where information might actually be the most fundamental thing there is.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild concept.
Time, space, gravity, even matter. What if it's all just emerging from how information interacts and behaves?
It's a huge idea, and you've sent us some really interesting papers exploring all these information dynamics.
So instead of the universe being made up of tiny particles, it's more like a giant tapestry woven from pure information.
That's the idea, and what's really fascinating here is we're not just talking about information like data in your phone or a computer, rather.
Right.
We're talking about information as the very fabric of reality, sort of like a cosmic code underlying everything that we see and experience.
Okay, I'm starting to get it now.
Yeah, and the papers that you've sent suggest that this framework might actually be the key to unifying some of the biggest mysteries in physics.
Okay.
Imagine, a single theory that could explain both the quantum world and the behavior of galaxies.
Oh, wow.
That's the potential power of this approach.
Okay, so I'm hooked, but let's get specific.
Sure.
One of the papers tackles the concept of time.
Uh-huh.
And they're suggesting that time isn't this separate, universal clock, but it's actually created by the flow of information changing.
That's exactly right.
Whoa.
Think of it like this. Time is less about a ticking clock and more about watching how the patterns in this cosmic information tapestry evolve and shift.
Okay.
And what's even more mind-bending is that your experience of time would be different from someone moving at a different speed.
Wait, so my time is literally different from someone else's time?
It is.
Oh, that's really messing with my mind a bit.
It is a wild thought, yeah, but it very elegantly explains Einstein's theory of relativity.
Okay.
It's not just that time seems relative, it's that time is relative to how information is changing from your perspective.
Oh, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of things that mess with our understanding of the universe, the papers also dive into dark matter. This mysterious stuff that seems to hold galaxies together but doesn't interact with light.
Right, and the explanation that they offer is surprisingly intuitive.
Okay.
So instead of it being like some exotic particle, they propose that dark matter might just be a result of gradients or unevenness in the density of information throughout the universe.
So instead of it being a thing, it's more like a feature of how information is distributed.
Precisely.
Okay, so then if dark matter is about information density, then maybe dark energy is about the space for that information.
Yeah.
Because that's the force that seems to be pushing everything in the universe apart, and at an accelerating rate.
That's a great point. You're right on track.
Thanks.
The papers propose that dark energy could be understood as the universe just constantly generating more potential for information.
No?
It's like the universe is a continuously growing information storage system, constantly expanding its capacity.
So as the universe expands, it's not just creating more space, it's creating more potential for information to, exist.
Exactly, and this aligns beautifully with observations that show dark energy's density seemingly staying constant even as the universe keeps expanding.
So, wow, okay, we've covered time as information flow, dark matter as information density gradients, and dark energy as expanding information potential.
Yeah.
It's all starting to feel connected in a really elegant way.
It is a very elegant sort of picture, and it gets even more intriguing.
Okay.
Because the source material actually presents a unified field equation.
Wow.
So a single mathematical statement that brings together information wave propagation, those information density gradients we talked about that are responsible for gravity, and the expansion of information potential we just discussed.
So it's like one grand equation to rule them all, a theory of everything driven by information.
In essence, yeah, and this equation holds the potential to unify quantum mechanics, gravity, and the large-scale behavior of the cosmos.
Wow.
Which really showcases the incredible unifying power of this information-centric approach.
That's really amazing.
But we can't just take this equation at face value. The real test is whether this framework can make testable predictions that scientists can actually observe and verify.
That's a really good point. It's easy to get, lost in the theoretical beauty of it all.
Yeah.
But we need to ground these ideas in the real world.
Absolutely.
So how do we actually prove any of this?
Well, the sources are very specific about that.
Yeah.
They outline 6 key predictions that, if observed, would lend really strong support to this information-based view of the universe.
Okay.
For instance, they predict specific patterns in how information density would be distributed in galaxy clusters, and that would be detectable as subtle variations in their gravitational fields.
So we're talking about using our most powerful telescopes and instruments to, like, study the structure of galaxies and see if the data matches the predictions.
Exactly.
Okay, and then they also predict observable transitions between regions dominated by different information densities, almost like phase transitions in physics, right?
Exactly, yeah. Finding these transition zones would be a huge step towards validating this framework.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So what about those mind-blowing ideas of manipulating information to do things that just seem impossible today, like creating unlimited energy, traveling instantly across space,
Yeah.
or extending human lifespans?
Right. The sources suggest that if we can truly understand and control information at the fundamental level, these seemingly sci-fi concepts might not be as outlandish as they sound.
Really?
Yeah, for example, they propose that manipulating quantum entanglement, that, bizarre connection between particles that are separated by vast distances,
Right.
that could be the key to tapping into zero-point energy,
Oh, wow.
which is a source of unlimited energy embedded in the fabric of space itself.
Okay, now my brain is officially in overdrive, tapping into unlimited energy.
Yeah.
That's a, total game changer.
It would be a complete game changer.
And what about the idea of manipulating space-time to travel anywhere instantly? I always thought that was pure science fiction.
It does sound like science fiction,
Yeah.
but that's where the idea of wormholes comes in. The sources propose that by controlling information density and entanglement, we might be able to create shortcuts through space-time, essentially warping the fabric of reality to bridge those vast distances.
Hold on, are we saying that manipulating information could literally allow us to bend the rules of space and time?
It's a very radical concept, but that's what these sources are proposing.
Wow.
And it doesn't stop there.
Oh, no.
They also suggest that by understanding the information dynamics within our own bodies, we could potentially optimize our biological processes to extend human lifespans dramatically.
Okay, I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So by understanding, the information code of life itself, we could hack our biology to live longer, healthier lives.
That's the idea.
Whoa.
Of course, these concepts are still in the realm of theoretical exploration, but the very notion that information could be the key to such extraordinary possibilities is incredibly exciting.
This is definitely one of those deep dives that makes you question everything you thought you knew about the universe.
Absolutely, and the implications go far beyond just physics.
Right. This information-centric perspective could revolutionize fields like computer science, medicine, even philosophy.
Wow.
It forces us to re-examine the very nature of reality and our place within it.
It feels like we're on the verge of a major paradigm shift.
Yeah.
One where information is recognized as the most fundamental building block of everything.
Right.
But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's step back and delve deeper into how information itself behaves.
Okay.
So we've established it as the key player.
Yeah.
But what are the rules of the game? How does information actually work at this fundamental level?
Right. Yeah, that's the big question. Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can't just assume that information is like some magical ingredient.
Right.
It has to have properties, behaviors, maybe even, rules that govern how it interacts.
So it's not enough to just say information is everything.
Right.
We need to really understand its characteristics, its patterns, how it flows, how it changes.
Yeah. Maybe that's where we'll find the true secrets of the universe.
I think so. One of the sources tackles this
Okay.
by suggesting we look at information as a flow between two opposing states.
Okay.
So imagine it like a dance between positive and negative charges, constantly pushing and pulling, creating this dynamic tension.
Okay, I'm picturing information not as static bits, but as this constant flow between two extremes.
Yeah.
Is it always balanced, or can one side kind of dominate the flow?
That's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
The source suggests that the intensity and the speed of this flow actually depend on the balance between those opposing forces.
Uh-huh.
So if one side gets stronger, you get this surge of information flowing in that direction. It's like a cosmic tug of war that's influencing how reality takes shape.
So could we say that information acts like a wave? With peaks and valleys representing the ebb and flow between these two states?
Precisely, and the source even suggests that we could model this using a sine wave, with amplitude representing the intensity and frequency representing the speed of information transfer.
Okay.
So it's like a cosmic language.
Oh, wow.
Written in the patterns of these information waves.
So just like sound waves carry music and light waves carry images, these information waves might be carrying the blueprint for reality itself.
It's a very mind-boggling idea.
Yeah.
But that's the implication.
Wow.
Imagine these waves encoding the core information that determines everything from the fundamental forces of nature to the properties of matter itself.
Whoa. Wait.
It's like a cosmic symphony where the information waves are the instruments creating the music of existence.
This is getting pretty deep.
Yeah, it is.
If we could decode these information waves, would we be like reading the source code of the universe?
That is the ultimate goal.
Wow.
The sources propose that by carefully analyzing these wave interactions and their mathematical structure, we could actually reverse engineer the core information that underpins everything.
Oh,
It'd be like cracking the cosmic code.
Hold on. Earlier we were talking about information flowing between positive and negative states.
Right.
And now we're talking about information waves.
Mm-hmm.
Are these two ideas connected, or are we dealing with like separate concepts here?
That's where the real magic happens.
Okay.
The sources actually suggest we can unify these ideas by thinking about information flow in the context of quantum entanglement.
Okay, remind me about entanglement.
Awesome.
Again, it's that spooky action at a distance, right?
Yeah.
Where two particles are linked, even if they're like light years apart.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that these entangled particles can exist in a superposition of states.
Yeah.
Meaning they're in multiple states simultaneously until we observe them.
Uh-huh.
So that superposition, that ability to be in multiple states at once,
Yeah.
is a key part of how information flows.
So we've got entanglement linking particles across like vast distances, and superposition allowing those particles to hold multiple possibilities at once.
Right.
How does that translate to information flow?
Yeah.
And how does that connect to gravity? That's the part that still feels like a leap.
Yeah, well, think of those entangled particles as constantly exchanging information, like whispering secrets across the universe.
Okay.
And the degree of entanglement reflects how much information is being shared. The more entangled they are, the stronger the information flow between them.
Okay, more entanglement equals more information flow.
Right.
I'm with you so far, but how does that create gravity? That's the part that still feels like a leap.
This is where it gets truly mind-bending.
Okay.
The sources propose that these information exchanges between entangled particles actually influence the curvature of space-time itself.
Really?
Remember, Einstein showed us that gravity is not a force, but a warping of the fabric of space and time?
So we're saying that information flowing between entangled particles is literally bending the fabric of reality.
It is a lot to process.
That's a lot to process.
But the implications are staggering.
Yeah.
If this model is correct. It means that by manipulating the rate of entanglement, we could potentially manipulate the information density of a region.
Okay.
And therefore control the gravitational field itself.
Whoa, so we could like control gravity. That would be like rewriting the laws of physics.
That's right. The sources even propose a formula for doing just that, for manipulating information density by controlling the rate of entanglement.
Really?
And that, of course, opens up the door to those extraordinary outcomes we touched upon earlier.
Unlimited energy, instant travel, extended lifespans.
Yeah.
All by mastering the flow of information at the quantum level.
Right.
It feels almost too incredible to be true. Are we getting carried away here?
It's definitely pushing the boundaries of our current understanding.
Yeah.
And the sources acknowledge that these ideas are speculative and require a lot more research. But they also emphasize that this framework provides a path forward.
Okay.
A way to test whether these mind-blowing possibilities have any scientific basis.
So it's not just wild speculation.
Right.
There's a chance this could lead to like real scientific breakthroughs.
Exactly. And it all hinges on a fundamental shift in our thinking.
Okay.
Instead of viewing the universe as primarily made of matter and energy,
Uh-huh.
we need to start seeing information as the primary ingredient, the driving force behind everything.
So information isn't just like a way we describe the universe.
Yeah.
It is the universe.
It is the universe.
Constantly flowing, changing, and shaping reality as we know it.
Exactly.
But where do we go from here?
Yeah.
If we embrace this like radical new view, what are the practical steps to explore these ideas further?
Well, I think for starters, we need to get that theoretical foundation really rock solid.
Okay.
Imagine building elaborate mathematical models that describe those concepts of dark matter and dark energy, not as these mysterious forces, but as consequences of information flow and density gradients.
So equations that capture like the dance of information
Yeah.
and how it shapes gravity and the expansion of the universe.
Exactly.
That's a tall order.
It is a tall order, but it's essential if we want to move beyond just speculation and into the realm of testable science.
Right.
And to really see how these ideas play out, we could create incredibly detailed computer simulations
Okay.
that model the entire universe
Wow.
based on these information-based principles.
So like a cosmic information simulator.
Yeah.
Where we can like tweak the information flow and see how galaxies form, stars evolve, and even maybe how the very fabric of space-time twists and turns.
Exactly. And those simulations could be invaluable for refining the predictions of this framework.
Uh-huh.
They could show us precisely what to look for when we point our telescopes at the sky.
Okay, so speaking of which, the experimental side is just as exciting.
Oh, absolutely.
So what kind of experiments could we actually do to see if this information-based universe is more than just a, cool idea?
Well, we could start by reanalyzing existing data from our most powerful telescopes,
Okay.
looking for those telltale signs of information density gradients.
So subtle variations in gravitational lensing or patterns in the cosmic microwave background radiation.
Exactly.
That might, reveal the fingerprints of information shaping the cosmos.
That's right. So we're not just collecting new data.
Yeah.
We're looking at old data with fresh eyes, searching for clues we might have missed before.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but we'll also need to design brand new experiments,
Okay.
specifically targeting those information transition zones we talked about earlier.
So we're essentially looking for the places where the rules of the game change.
Exactly, where information behaves in unexpected ways.
And let's not forget about the quantum experiments.
Of course not.
Testing for those long-range quantum correlations.
Yeah.
Those spooky connections between entangled particles.
Right. That could provide even more evidence for this information-based view, so it's a multi-pronged approach, both on the grand cosmic scale and at that subatomic level.
Okay, we've got a plan for the scientists.
Yeah.
But what about, the rest of us? How do we start to wrap our heads around this information-based universe?
It's a lot to take in, I agree.
It's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
It is. It's a big shift in perspective, and that's why the sources suggest developing new visualization tools,
Okay.
almost like interactive simulations that let people experience what it would be like to see the universe as this giant information processing system.
So instead of static images of galaxies, we'd see, information flowing.
Yes.
Pulsing, creating the very structure of the cosmos.
Exactly. It would be a whole new way of experiencing the universe.
That would be incredible.
It would be incredible, and to really make progress, we need to foster more dialogue between all these different fields.
Okay.
Imagine physicists, computer scientists, philosophers, and information theorists all working together, bringing their unique perspectives to the table.
Oh, that's a conversation I would love to be a fly on the wall for.
Me too, but it can't just be an academic exercise.
Right.
We need to bring the public along for the ride.
Absolutely. So sharing these ideas through books, articles, documentaries, even works of art
Yeah.
can spark curiosity and help make these complex concepts more accessible to everyone.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, this isn't just about science.
Yeah.
It's about expanding our understanding of who we are and our place in this, grand information-driven cosmos.
So if we truly embrace this information-based worldview, how does it change how we see ourselves and the universe around us?
It's a profound shift. Instead of seeing the universe as this collection of inert matter, we start to see it as this vibrant network of information, constantly exchanging, evolving, creating.
Okay.
Life isn't just a random occurrence. It's an emergent property of information organizing itself in increasingly complex ways.
It's like the universe is alive with information.
Yeah.
And we're not just observers, but active participants in this grand cosmic dance.
Exactly, and that realization opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
Wow.
We start to see ourselves not just as physical beings, but as information patterns, capable of shaping and being shaped by the flow of information all around us.
And who knows, maybe by understanding the language of information, we'll unlock the secrets to those, extraordinary outcomes we discussed.
Right.
Unlimited energy, instant travel, extended lifespans.
It's certainly a possibility worth exploring.
Absolutely.
But even beyond those, tantalizing goals, imagine a future where we use our understanding of information to solve global challenges like climate change, poverty, and disease.
A world where information empowers us to create a more sustainable and equitable future for all.
That's the dream.
Now that's a vision worth striving for.
Absolutely.
This deep dive has been an incredible journey into the mind-bending world of information dynamics.
It has.
It's challenged my assumptions and left me with more questions than answers, but I think that's the beauty of it.
I agree, it's a journey of exploration, and we're really just at the beginning.
Yeah.
But the potential is truly limitless. Who knows what incredible discoveries await us as we continue to unravel the mysteries of the information-based universe.
Join us next time on The Deep Dive as we explore another fascinating corner of the universe.
I'll be here.
Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep into the mysteries of existence.